So now I'd like to show you my favorite drill to get a feel for a flat serve, which, as we discussed in the video prior to this, is just simply meeting the ball flush, dead behind the ball with the strings facing towards the target and releasing towards our intended target so that everything lines up directly at the target so we have as little spin as possible. So my favorite drill to get a feel for that is to start with a continental grip, start with the racket perpendicular to the court surface. You're going to toss the ball just out in front of you, just kind of leave it right in front of you. And you can either do this right out of the toss, or you can also let it bounce and then hit it after the bounce. But what you want to practice is starting from the racket on edge, allowing the racket to fall and turn so that we meet the ball directly on top of the, meet the ball directly on top with the strings facing straight down. And my goal here is to hit a shot that goes directly down into the court and then bounces directly up. Okay, so that'll look something. So I'll start from this position. I'll lift my racket, I'll turn my racket, and I'm just getting a feel here for that turning of my hand and forearm to meet the top of the ball flush. And my goal is to have the ball go straight down and straight up, like that. If I do this incorrectly, let me, let's see, I'll face forwards. If I do this incorrectly, the most common way that I see players do this wrong is to push the ball out away from them. So again, this is correct, is straight down and straight up, allowing the racket to turn and meet the top of the ball. When I see players mess this up, it's because they're used to pushing through and they go kind of like this, and the ball goes way out in front of them. And it's because they're not good at turning the racket and meeting the ball flush on top, which is the same motion as up here, going on edge and then flush or flat right behind the back of the ball and going through the ball towards the target. So again, this is what it looks like contained, just this little practice drill. And you can start to actually accelerate this a little more as you get pretty good at it. And your goal is to go straight up and then straight down. And again, I'm using a continental grip. That's key. If you have a forehand grip, you'll go to that pushing motion, which we don't want. So after you get a feel for that, all we're looking to do is transpose that same motion up to here and get a feel for that turning of the racket so that the strings are flush behind the ball. So here's that downward motion into the court. And now here it is, just going out towards my target. I'm just going to try to go right down the tee. So I'm looking for a clean, flush contact directly behind the back of the ball. And I want to release out towards my target and then have my racket come across my body to my left side. So what I don't want to do is allow my racket to slice or bisect the back of the ball and go out to the side, over to the right. What I'm looking to do is release directly towards my target. And that's how you're going to hit a flush, straight, flat shot directly towards your target. If you swing across the back of the ball, you will create spin. If you release through the ball towards your target, that's where you're going to start creating the most amount of power and the most amount of speed possible.